So today, let's talk festivals. Literally my favorite thing to talk about ever, and over COVID it was so depressing that festivals weren't going. So luckily now they're starting to happen a little bit again, and I'm currently getting ready to go to Glastonbury. I gotta stop saying berry. It is literally the best place on earth, and I don't know why I'm telling you about it because I don't want any more people to try get tickets. Yes, I'm getting prepared, and I thought, why not make a whole video about how to get festival ready, because I have a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the years and maybe it'll help you out. So first up, you probably want to decide which festival you're going to. There's so many around the world, and honestly, instead of being that person who's like, oh yeah, one day I'll go there, I just book whatever your heart desires, or else you're never going to go to that festival. If you see tickets for Coachella and you want to go to them, just get them and you'll figure out how to get there afterwards. Once you've figured out which festival you want to go to, you have to work out how they sell their tickets. Sometimes it's easy. You can just kind of be like, oh, there's tickets out for this. Let's just get them. Easy peasy. Most of the time for the big festivals, tickets can be hard to get. You have to be prepared, especially for Glastonbury. You have to know what you're doing because you first have to register. You have to put in your photo, your date of birth, your address, everything, all the information way before the tickets come out. You can eventually, when the tickets are about to come out, which is usually maybe October, and the festivals in June, but the last couple of years have been cancelled. So the people who had tickets from years ago still had their tickets for this year. So it was impossible to get tickets if you wanted to get them this year. Somehow I got them. I would have filmed the actual event of trying to get tickets, but I've found that every time I tried to film me getting Glastonbury tickets, I didn't get tickets. So I didn't want to be jinxed or anything, and I guess that works because look who has tickets now. Anyway, so it was a bit of a tangent, but you have to work out how to get tickets and prepare for that. It's so much easier to get tickets the earlier you get them. So yeah, you have to plan these things in advance. It's not going to just happen on the week of the festival and you're like, hey, let's just get tickets. Although sometimes people do sell them for a cheap price on the week. Just not for something like Glastonbury. Also, talking about tickets can be so expensive. So it's always good to look at the different festivals and look at the different pricing. I found Coachella was insanely expensive for what it was. I'm low-key a Coachella hater, although give me a ticket and I'll go again. But it's really expensive. There wasn't many stages and you had to pay $90 extra for camping, or you had to find a hotel, which was really hard to find. You had to pay for VIP. Literally all of those things add up. So you have to keep that in mind when you're buying tickets, that it may cost a lot of money to go to these things. But if you were to go to Glastonbury, this is literally just a video of me just being Glastonbury's the best thing ever, okay? That festival in particular, you just pay the one price. I think it cost me about 500 Australian dollars or 550, but it goes from Wednesday. You turn up on Wednesday and you leave on Monday. So that's quite a few days there. Is that 5 days? That's $100 a day. And it includes the camping. You don't pay any extra for camping unless you're getting a special camping or caravan pass. And they don't really have VIP sections. Obviously there's artist sections, but in the main areas of the festival, there's no VIP sections. Everyone's equal. So yeah, I do like that festival a lot better. Better value for money, and that's good to know. Okay, somehow you've managed to secure a ticket. If you're like me, I was in the resale and I still can't believe it. Next, you want to work out how to get there. Now, if it's somewhere close to your house, easy peasy. You know how to get there. I've been to ones in Australia that haven't been close to my house. You have to plan how you're going to drive there, how early you're going to get there, and whether you need to pay for your car to be parked or anything. But then if it's overseas, there's so many logistics. You got to fly over there. I've done a few festivals overseas. I've done Glasgow, I've done Fuji Rock, and I've done Coachella. All of them I flew to, and I just managed to I was like, oh, I'm going to be there anyway. I'm just going to plan a whole holiday around this whole event. But it will be like an added cost because you have to fly all the way to wherever it is, and Australia in particular is so far away from everything. And then once you're in the country, you have to work out how you're going to get to the festival from there. So whether it's you take a train there, there's bus options, you have to plan all these things in advance because yeah, it gets booked out. So I'm personally taking a train to Glasgow, and then they have shuttle buses from the train station to the festival. You also want to have a plan of how to get home afterwards, which should be like pretty much the same as getting there. Hopefully you got a return ticket on the way back. Now you can do the next few things in whatever order you like, but this is just basically everything you need to prep to get ready for the festival, which is literally what I need to do. The most fun part is figuring out which outfits you want to wear to the festival. And in the past, I've liked to go super comfy, and usually because I'm traveling to the festival, I don't have a lot of room in my bag for different festival clothes, so I have to wear kind of what I'm bringing anyway for the trip. But luckily, it seems like everyone is hating on the Coachella fashion from earlier this year. And the votes are in. Casual celeb chic is in, which is gonna roll well if you're traveling to a festival. It's also awesome because tacky, like single-use festival costumes are just like not great for the environment. You don't rewear them. It's just not a good thing to spend your money on because you're not going to wear it again and it's just going to go in the trash, which is not good for the environment. Now, I'm not saying wearing overalls for 3 days straight in the dusty hot weather or mud is like the best thing to do either, speaking from experience. But it's good to look in your wardrobe to find a bunch of outfits that work for a festival as well. I usually base my outfits around shoes, and shoes are very important for a festival because your feet are going to get used a lot. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, a lot of stomping, a lot of dancing. I like to go for obviously Doc Martens, and I'm probably going to be taking these on my trip because they're so versatile. You got the added height so you can see the bands when you get to the front of the stage, or if you're at the back of the stage, elevation. But yeah, I like to wear Docs to a festival, although keep in mind that if it's going to be muddy, you are going to want to get some wellies or rain boots or whatever you like to call them. Pro tip, you want to wear long socks with them because or else you're going to get welly rash, and that is just so not good, especially if you get it the first day and the rest of the festival your legs are just so sore. Now, if you don't take wellies and it's not going to be muddy, it's also a good idea to take an alternative pair of shoes. So if I was taking these, I would also take something else just in case these get wrecked or anything, or they're wet. I got stuck in a typhoon when I was in the Japanese festival, and the Docs I was wearing at the time were just so drenched on the second day. So the third day I had to just like wear something else. So yeah, make sure you have backup shoes or comfortable sneakers or just something, because you're going to be using your feet. Another thing I like to do before festivals is go through the artists that are on the lineup. Don't just watch all the bands that you already know. It's such a good excuse to find new bands that you may love. So yeah, I like to go through and just kind of see if there's anyone I might want to check out while I'm at the festival. Now, if it's a camping festival, you then want to think about getting out your camping supplies. So I got to get out my tent and make sure that that is totally working and well, because the last time I used it was at a festival like 3 years ago. So let's make sure that all our camping gear is ready. Now, the things that I'm taking are very travel friendly. So I'm taking a very small tent, a little mattress, sleeping bag. I take a bowl and cutlery because I do like to take cereal in the morning, because I don't like buying every single meal at a festival because it does add up. It's also good to have a reusable drink bottle so you can fill that up during the day. I usually try not to drink too much water, which is probably bad for me, but I don't like to pee too often, which I'll get to again later in the video. I also like to take wipes. Now, this is controversial because you don't want to harm the environment, so try to get the biodegradable wipes if you're going to get any, because we want to be good to the environment and there's going to be so much trash from the festival. So take wipes or take a cloth that you want to wet, but it's really hard to clean it at the festival. I personally, I know it's gross, but I don't really take showers at Glasgow. Is there even showers? I know I'm disgusting. I just have the little wet bath and freshen up a little bit that way and hope for the best. You may want to grab a raincoat. That's definitely a good idea if you're at a rainy festival. You may also want to take earplugs so you don't damage your ears, sunscreen so you don't damage your skin, and it's also a good idea to have like a rechargeable like battery pack so you can charge your phone if you need to, but there should be places at the festival where you can recharge your phone. There's probably also a ton of stuff that I've missed that I'm going to pack, just little things here and there. You're gonna need band-aids, maybe you want to take some toilet paper just in case. Just, there's a lot of things to consider, so definitely try plan this out, not like the day of. Like for personal preference, I also take my camera, because I don't want to lose my phone. I don't really want to use my phone either, but it's up to personal preference. I like having this little strap, or I'll probably put a neck strap on it. I also take a bunch of like Ziploc bags because you can put your stuff in it and hopefully it won't like get destroyed. And another thing to note is that if you do have valuables, most festivals do have lockers. At Glastonbury, they have free lock-up tents. So every day we end up taking all our stuff, well, not our tent, but just like our bag and everything with our clothes and anything valuable. We'll take that to the tent, leave it there all day. When we're going back to the tent, like our tent, we will get the bag out and go back. So that's just like what I end up doing, but it's really up to you. I'm just scared of people stealing my stuff. Which brings me to being at the festival. Yay! You finally made it to the festival, hopefully. I suggest going early because you want to make the most of going to the festival. You spend all this money. You may as well be there for as long as possible. So I like to try get there as early as possible and try find a spot for your tent and get all set up. And then you can just chill for the rest of the first day usually. Usually there's no bands on yet. So then you want to like go for a little walk. Go for a walk around, get your bearings, look at the map, work out where everything is. So the next few days, you know where everything is, your friends do. Maybe make a meeting point so that if you get lost, you can find each other and you like are all on the same page. If you're going by yourself, don't worry about that step, I guess. And also, don't forget to just watch the bands you have gone to see. Like if you're in a group of people, it is so easy to get swayed to go see things that they want to see, which is nice. You want to check out other people's bands, but if you have gone there to see a certain band and you end up not seeing it because you're sticking with your friends, you will regret that forever. So I'm speaking from utter true experience here. See the bands that you want to see. That's why you're there. You can always go see your friends again after. But also, see some of the bands that you researched. Find some new ones. That's why we try to plan for the festival and don't just go in on the day and be like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, there's a band playing. And then afterwards you're like, oh shit, friggin' Tame Impala was playing at this festival and I didn't even know. Now, one other thing I should probably touch on since we are talking about music festivals, which is like drugs and alcohol. And I don't personally do drugs or really alcohol at festivals, but if you are going to be doing drugs, I would suggest you keep to the things you know and like make sure you test it. Don't take random drugs from strangers. Yeah, I don't really know much about it, but just be safe, I guess. And with alcohol, again, also, don't overdo it because you're not gonna like remember most of the festival if you get so shit-faced, which is why I don't take any drugs or do alcohol because I want to remember my experience at the festival. I'm there for the bands and I get so upset if I don't remember something. It's up to you. Do what you want to do. Some people are there to party. I am there to listen to the tunes. Also with alcohol, I hate having to pee all the time. So that's why I don't end up drinking alcohol, and the toilets can often be very gross. There's many different options, but mostly it's like a muddy hole in the ground. So I try to minimize the amount of times I need to go to the bathroom. Do go to the bathroom, no. Don't hold it the whole weekend because that will give you some health problems. So that is how I get prepared for a festival. I am hopefully all prepared now to go to Glasgow. I'm so excited, and I hope you have a good time too if you're going, or if you're going to any other festivals. Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if there's anything that you take to every festival. Anyways, my name has been Jen. If you haven't already, please subscribe. My Instagram's @NoWonderYears, and until next time, keep wondering and stop peeing.